Break stalemates. Be the change agent. Rise to occasion. Go and make a statement. We need change now. That's how we won the weekend. No dope or hope to hold us float, for this is not the season. Life's no fairy tale. No night to slay the dragon. Your sword's a picket sign. It's time for strike action. We need to strike of words and fight for workers' rights and freedom. The real revolutionary. I write to be one.
Student involvement is so critical because what's happening right now is that the working conditions of our faculty and our staff are really the learning conditions of our students. And unless we're working together to ensure that everyone's needs are met, it's going to actually compromise the quality of education that we have. And I think that we all deserve the very best, and the only way we're going to do that is if we work together. It's all about priorities. The money exists, it just depends where people want to put that money. And we know what our priorities are and where that money should be going, and I think it's important for us to explain that our priorities should be shared, and right now I don't think that's the case.
Equal pay for equal work is really what we're looking for. And though that pay might be good on an hour-to-hour basis, it doesn't take into account meetings and prep and all of the other ways that we can better support students.
There's a petition with over 100,000 signatures on it to ask for their money back because we're not getting paid, they're not getting their classes. But John Sinclair is getting his money. He's the head of the college council. He's not missing a day of pay. We need to say to them, shame on this guy. He told us to be patient. Let's not be patient.
Yeah, it's absolutely a very courageous move on for contract faculty to stand up and share their experiences. They don't have the job security that will ensure they'll have a job to go back to after doing this. On our lines here today, there were literally dozens of people who've been working contract to contract for 20 years or more. I think this kind of continued pressure is essential to get both sides back to the table. For students to stand up as they did today in meeting with Deb Matthews inside to talk about those issues, we need to stand together with our students and demand that we want to be back in our classrooms, and that in order to do that, we need to have the other side willing to bargain. This actually has incredible momentum because what we're seeing is that it's not just college faculty and college students, but the rest of the labor movement recognizes this as a shared issue around precarious work, and that taking a hard line now means that all workers will benefit in the future.
50 years ago, this province created a college system to provide people like me and others the education to be able to make a decent life, to hopefully get a decent job, have the ability to raise a family. How on earth can that same system say the majority of teaching work is going to be done by part-time people with few rights, lousy wages, and rotten conditions?
Workers united will never be defeated. The students, the workers united will never be defeated. The students